Now, I didn't put this in or on your paper or your other stuff, okay? But two angles are vertical angles if their sides form two pairs of opposite rays. Now, I'm going to try to show you that. Well, I see I am. What's stopping me from, oh, I know what. Shh, gotta have your marker. Can't do it with your finger anymore. Now, you got two lines across. Vertical angles are angles that have their opposite rays. So, young people, this angle, I'm going to name it as number 1. And this angle I'm going to number as 2 are vertical angles. They're vertical angles. Okay? Now, they have a vertex, both of them shared. Now, I'm going to change up the shade of the color, and now this angle and this angle are vertical angles. Now, on your paper, get your what you call it out? Chrome. You don't have it? Chromebook? Go to classroom. And look up there where it's on the page, on the second page, where it says vertical angles. Y'all see that? Okay, open it up and get it to it. I'm sorry, you should have been there already. Each day, get to that thing out. Okay, you with me? Now, what does it say about vertical angles? I'll read what it says. Huh? Vertical angles are congruent. So what you need to pick up from that is that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Now, did you notice tilde? Tilde does not have measure. If they're congruent, then their measures are equal. That's just an understanding that we have. But angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent. And if they're congruent, their measures, their measures are equal. Okay? All vertical angles are congruent. You got that? Now, what else is congruent? Angle 3 is congruent to angle what? 4. If the angles are congruent, then by definition the measures are equal. Now I'm bringing this out to you to let you see. If you don't put M, you put the congruent. If they're congruent, they're equal. But if you put M, you got to put equals. You got it? Now tomorrow, when you walk in that door, I'm going to ask you to get out one sheet of paper. Now what are you going to put on that one sheet of paper? I'm going to say define vertical angles. Or what do you know about vertical angles? And vertical angles are what? Congruent. I want to hear that. I want you to write it down. Vertical angles are congruent. You got it? Vertical angles are 4 words. Now, if you miss them 4 words tomorrow, that would be very disappointing. That wouldn't be marvelous. Okay? You got that? Now, let's look at those problems that are on below it and see how you succeed with that or not. All right? So look at number 1. Now, number 1. An angle has a measure of 2x plus 20. Its vertical angle has a measure of 5x minus 34. Now, what do you know about vertical angles? So we'll say the measure of angle 1 is 2x plus 20, and the measure of angle 2 is what? Now they're congruent because vertical angles are congruent. But what do you know about their measures? Measure angle 1 equals what? Measure angle 2. Now, solve. What are you going to put here instead of measure angle 1 is 2x plus 20 and what are you going to put for angle 2? You got that? Now solve for x. Subtract 2x, add 34, 54 equals 3x. Help me out here now. What's 3 into this? You're not going to tell me? That's what I got. Now, let's go back to the top and tell me what each measure is. What's 2 times 18 plus 20? $56? No?
56.
All right, what's 5 times 18? Take away 34. 56, yes? How'd y'all do on that? James, you can handle that, can't you? Good job. Let's go down to number 4. Number 4. Find the value. Now, it doesn't say to find the answer to the problem. It just says find what x is. So you got 2 lines that cross. And when they cross, you're going to have 2 vertical angles congruent. You got that? Vertical angles are what? Congruent. Now, so this is 2x plus 21. And what is this angle over here? Now, young people, these are not adjacent. I like to say they point to each other. And vertical angles, they're congruent. So their measures are equal by definition. So you have 2x plus 21, 4x minus 95. Y'all see that? Vertical angles are equal. Congruent. Measures are equal. You got it, Jace? We can move along? All we do now is solve for x. Aren't you so glad that you had Algebra 1 last year to learn how to solve for x? I am too. We don't have to put all our time on learning how to do that again. You getting a big number? Huh? You get 58? Y'all get 58 for x? Ooh, that's a big number. Alright, and all it says to find is x. It doesn't say to go back and find the angles. People, that's vertical angles. How are you doing that? I'll go to that back second page then. And let's talk about angle addition positive. Angle addition positive. You got it? Angle addition positive. Now, I didn't put a number with it. It's a positive. I think it's 4, but we're going to just, I'll have to get back with you on that. Alright, here's what it says. Now, first of all, you're going to have an angle. So let's draw us an angle. Okay? Now, it says if H is in the interior of ABC. All right, here's ABC. There's A, there's B, and there's C. Now it says if H is in the interior of angle ABC. I should have maybe said BH. All right. Now we're not talking about a bisector now. We're not talking about a bisector. We're talking about a line going right down here, an angle. Now, and this is H. So maybe I should have said if BH is, but if B is, it says if H is in the interior of angle ABC. Now let's see if y'all can pick this up. This is what it says. Then the measure of angle A, B, H. Y'all see where A starts? B, H. Let's name him also angle 1. That first angle. Okay? If you take that measure and add it to angle H, B, C. You see where HBC is? That's this angle. Let's name him 2. So we're going to add up 2 angles and get a big angle. And when you take that, it says, then that means the measure of angle ABH plus the measure of angle HBC equals to the measure of all of it, ABC. You see it? Now guess what else you got to write tomorrow? That's got to be written. Okay? Now you get to draw the angle, and it says if H is in the interior of angle ABC. If H is in the interior of ABC, then the measure of angle ABH plus the measure of angle HBC equals to the measure of angle what? ABC. Can y'all remember that? Well, guess what? You got to write it tomorrow. Now, what about all these people that didn't make it today? Will they have to write it tomorrow? No. When they have to write it? The next time they're here. All right. So let's go ahead and try to work some of them. There's 8 of them. Let's see how good you are with them. Okay? So let's take on number 1. Now, back to postulate 2 now. You know I told you every time you did a problem to write it what it said, right? Like the measure of this length plus the measure of another length equal total. So before you do these problems, what do you write first? Huh? You write this. So here we go. What does it say the measure of angle ABH is? Plus, what does it say the measure of HBC is? Then it says, well, then what is the measure of this? So how do you find that answer? You add them up. 103. And that's the measure of angle ABC. How'd you do on that? Huh? Too easy, isn't it? You don't like that type of problem. That's no challenge. I'm sorry, but that's the way I'm going to have to do it. Look at number 3 now. Let's go to number 3. What did I say? 3. All righty. I'm going to do it under this. Is that all right with you? Now write the measure of angle ABH plus the measure of angle what? HB what? H. I don't have the H in there. I got to erase it. Well, that ain't going to erase it. Measure of angle HB what? C, isn't it? Now, people, the more you write it today, the better you're going to remember it for tomorrow. All right, what does this equal? ABC, right? You just write it over. Every time you do a problem, write the postulate over. Now, what is the, oh, wait a minute. This says the measure of angle ABC is 136. So we got to put the 136 under the ABC. You got that, Gunner? Gunner, you with me? Good job. All right, what about HBC? This is HBC. What's HBC? That's 49. Then what is ABH? I don't know. So what do you put till you do know it? X. Now how do you solve for X? What do you do?
Subtract.
And you get what? Let's don't put X. Let's put measure of angle ABH. And what is the measure of angle ABH? It ends with a 7, doesn't it?
87.
And that's 4. That's 87, isn't it? You get 87? Now, people, I'm going to tell you all something. Every time you get involved in this class, you do arithmetic. I would say that's arithmetic. Now, but you got to also do algebra. Algebra. You remember your algebra facts? Techniques? All right, let's try them. Now, I don't know what happened to that one. Anyway, let's do it. Let's get us an angle up here. Or do we really need an angle? Do we really need to draw the angle, or we just need to write the postulate? Let's see if we can remember the postulate. The measure of angle ABH plus the measure of angle what? HBC equal to the measure of angle what?
ABC.
Y'all remember that? So the more you remember, the more you write it, you can be better off. All right. Well, let's look at number. What number? Number 5. You notice I'm doing the odd numbers, right? Y'all notice that? Y'all pretty sharp. All right, now what is ABH? 3x plus 4. What is HBC? 6x minus what? 19. Now that leaves us the measure of angle ABC, and what is that?
138.
Now, young people, do y'all remember how to combine like terms? What's 3x and 9x? Minus how many? 15. Annabelle, how to make it? You doing? You got it? James, I don't want to leave you out back there now. You with me? All right. You see where I got it. Now, what do we do now to get x by itself? Huh? We're going to do what? Add 15. And that means 9x's equal 153. Now, come on, calculators. Don't keep it a secret from me if I get it right. 153? All right. Now we're going to divide by 9. All right, so how many times does the 9 go into 153? 17 times? All right, now does this say to find x, or does it say to find the measure of each angle?
Find X.
Well, we did it, so we're moving on to the next one. Okay, which one is the next one? There you go. So we got the measure of angle ABH plus the measure of angle what? HBC equals to the measure of angle what?
ABC.
Alright. What is the measure of angle ABH on number
2X
7?
plus 6.
2x plus 6 plus
4X plus 31.
4x plus 31. And what is, ooh, the last one?
10X minus 19.
That's a tacky way of writing, isn't it? Let's do it right. Uh-oh. 10x minus 19. Again, what do you do with these like terms? You get 6x plus whatever? 37? 11? You get it? What about Alexis? She hadn't said much today. You with me? I was on you yesterday. I ain't gonna call you today. Train's not here, so I'll go ahead and back to him. What about it? You got it? You waiting on for me to hurry up and get out of there. Okay. So we subtract 6x. What are we going to do with the 19 though? So that's gone and that's gone, and you get 56. Now you divide by 4. Did you get what I got? I see, that's 14. Y'all get that? Young people, that's number 7. That's angle, addition, positive. Now let's go down to the next board. Linear pair. Now, on linear pair, I need you to do something for me. I need you to write this down. I need you to write this down, preparing to rewrite it tomorrow on a piece of paper. The sum of the measures of angles that form a linear pair is 180. Now, you may not remember this, so we need to look at it one more time. If you go back, scroll up to the other page, and look at what linear pairs are. Two adjacent angles with their non-common sides as opposite rays. Opposite rays. So, here's what you got. Think of a line. Okay, think of that line. And then on that line, you take you do this. You draw that line. Okay? Now adjacent, by adjacent it means this. It has a common vertex. It has a common vertex. It has a common side. And none of the angles, they're not in the same one. Now those two are adjacent. And so the linear pair says if you have two adjacent angles, two, let's number them. This is angle 1, and this is angle 2. And if you have the non-common side as a straight line, now that's a line, okay? They have the common vertex, common side, no points in common. What's over here is over there, and what's over here is over there. They're not sharing. And the third side, the other side, are opposite rays. Then it says the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180. Now that's for what? Linear pair. Now, next year probably I'll have it written on paper, but it didn't help you this year, did it? The sum of the measures of the angles, sum of the measures of angles that form a linear pair is 180. You got to say that tomorrow. You clear on that? You got 3 things to say tomorrow, people. First one says vertical angles are congruent. Can you handle that? And the second one says if H is in the interior of angle ABC, then what? The measure of angle ABH plus the measure of angle HBC is equal to the measure of angle what? ABC at the top of that next page. Remember, it's right at the top. And what's the third one? The sum of the measures of angles that form a linear pair is 180. Good, isn't it, James? You got it? 3 things for tomorrow. Now let's put these problems to work. Look at number 1 here. Now, what do we know about linear pairs? Now, people, look up here, please. That's the diagram. That's the diagram for the problems. Y'all see that? That diagram right in the middle? That's for these 8 at the bottom. 7 at the bottom. You got it? All right. Well, let's get it. What's the first thing you got to understand? Linear pair. All of these are linear pairs. What is it about a linear pair? The measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to what? So if measure angle 1 is 56, what's the measure of angle 2? Help me out now, calculator. I got 124. Do y'all get the same thing? Yeah? Now, young people, there's arithmetic involved in these problems, and then we're going to go to algebra. And young people, I'm going to jump all the way down to number 6. I think you can handle the rest of them. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. I think you could do 2, 3, 4, 5 very easily. If you write what first? Measure angle 1 plus the measure angle 2 equal 180. Linear pairs, measures equal to 180. 2 angles, 2 adjacent angles, and they have what? Measure angle 1 plus measure angle 2 is 180, or measure whatever the angles are. So let's do number 6. The measure of angle 2 exceeds that of angle 1 by 40. Then what is the measure of angle 1 so I can find the measure of angle 2? Do y'all know? You see, the measure of angle 2 exceeds. You know what exceeds means? Does that mean what? What does that mean to you? Huh?
Higher.
Higher. So the measure of angle 2 is bigger than angle 1 by 40. So what is the measure of angle 1? I don't know. That's what we're trying to find out. So until you do know, what do you put for them? Okay, we'll pick up there tomorrow. Is that how, Bill? No, let's keep going then. So did I tell you what the measure angle 1 was? I don't know. So until you do know, what do you put? X. What do you put for the measure angle 2? 40 more than that. How would you represent 40 more than X? You got it. Now what do you know about the measure angle 1 plus the measure angle 2? Because why? They're linear pairs. And what does it say about it? The sum of the measures of the angles that form a linear pair is equal to what? 180. What's X? Well, let's see. That'd be X plus X plus 4. 2X plus 4. To subtract 4. 2X equal to 176. Okay, help me out. 88? Yes or no? Yeah. I got 88 and 92. What'd you get? All right, people, that's going to...